Hello, friends. Tom Butwin here with another episode of Everything Mayer, your one-stop shop for John Mayer fandom. We welcome you, all of you, guitar players, non-guitar players, musicians, non-musicians, music fans, non-Mayer fans, and lifelong Mayer fans. All welcome here on Everything Mayer. Today, we're going to go back in time a little bit. We're going to check out a Rolling Stone review of what many people, if not most, argue is John Mayer's greatest album to date, and you guessed it, that is Continuum. And from there, we're going to go and check out a song-by-song review that I'm going to do live of one of the best performances and captures of the band from the Continuum era, and then some of those songs. So stick around for that. As always, if you're looking for a way to support the show, subscribing is free, commenting is free, liking is free. But if you want to go one step further, please check out the join button down here below in the description, depending on where you're watching or listening. But if you'd like more extra content and you want to support the show, there are multiple levels of membership. So please check those out. And if you do, I'll see you on an upcoming members-only live stream where we're going to do some really cool stuff. So check it out if you're interested. But let's get to this article. Rolling Stone talking about Continuum. In 2006, September 11th, 2006, Anthony DeCurtis. So we see 4 stars. You can only see 1 on the screen there, but trust me, there are 4. Let's read this. Who did you think I was? John Mayer asked on the opening track of Try. That's a John Mayer trio record. He's answered the question eloquently on Continuum. The smart, breezy album that deftly fuses his love for old school blues and R&B with his natural gift for sharp melodies and well-constructed songs. Accurate, I think. I find it interesting. We're going back. We have almost 20 years of history looking back on this from our perspective now. But if you think about it at the time, people just in general are still figuring out what John Mayer is capable of. They still have Daughters, Your Body's in Wonderland stuck in their heads and in their minds, and great songs, great singer-songwriter, acoustic-based material. But Try comes out, and you've got all of a sudden this fiery blues guitar player, which if you were paying attention at the time, you already knew that was there if you were paying attention, because he wasn't hiding it by any means. But if you were just a casual viewer, listener, maybe Rolling Stone reader, you might not know that. So with this album, the 28 years old, Mayer displays a new command of all his musical sources. The Memphis soul touches that seemed like a genre exercise on heavier things, Come Back to Bed, from 2003, achieve full flower here. I would say yes on that. Come Back to Bed stands out on heavier things as the first recorded instance of a bluesy song that is good, but it's really a vehicle for a live guitar solo. Honestly, if you saw him on any of those tours with heavier things, that was like one of the moments where he got to really just rip on the guitar. So I think that's kind of what they're saying here. The role of blue-eyed soul singer suits Mayer. His falsetto choruses on Vultures are sexy and assured. His breathy vocals are firmly at the album's center, and the R&B tradition he's mining lends weight to his pop flourishes. As for the vulnerability and open-heartedness soul music encourages, well, that's part of what all those young female fans loved about Mayer in the first place. How nice. Let's see here. What else do we have? Rolling Stone. Okay. Last time around, Mayer submerged himself in a trio with older established players like bassist Pino Palladino and drummer Steve Jordan, and indulged the guitar hero fantasies he'd nurtured during his teen years, spent listening to Cream, Jimi Hendrix, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. I feel like older established players is kind of underselling who Pino Palladino and Steve Jordan were, even in 2006. Let alone what they've accomplished since then. So keep up, Rolling Stone. Come on. It was a way of shedding the heartthrob mantle that hits like Your Body is a Wonderland, Daughters, like I said. I should have wrote this article. Had put on his shoulders. Room for Squares, his 2001 debut, had sold more than 4 million copies. Heavier Things sold 2 million, but Mayer saw his success as a life sentence to pop idoldom. Yeah. He desperately wanted out. Yeah, I think so. Try and the John Mayer trio record definitely helped him do that. I do think he was probably one more kind of soft hit away from cementing a place, regardless of how incredible his blues guitar playing and inspired music would be, which is why he didn't put Over and Over, I think, on Continuum. If you don't know what Over and Over is, go look that up. It's a song by John Mayer that did not get released around this time. Palladino and Jordan, who co-produced Continuum with Mayer, are on hand, but this is decidedly not a John Mayer trio record. Other notable musicians turn up, including guitarists like Ben Harper, Charlie Hunter, James Valentine from Maroon 5, Roy Hargrove, and bassist Willie Weeks. The power trio flexing is gone, and that's to the good. I don't think it's actually gone, because he covers Bold as Love. Gravity is essentially a trio song. I mean, Vultures is essentially a trio song. I Don't Trust Myself with Loving You is essentially a trio song. I mean, so that's kind of a BS statement. And also, like, I mean, flexing if you means like just like guitar solos, but it's a record versus a live record. I mean, like, come on. As a guitarist, Mayer is more adept at the terse, lyrical, cleanly articulated solos he takes on songs like In Repair, Gravity, which along with Vultures also appeared on Try, than the breakneck improvising he flashed with JMT. I guess, but I mean, go listen to Wait Until Tomorrow on Try, that second solo, and tell me that that is not someone on a different plane. He is not just flashily shredding for the sake of flashily shredding. I mean, that is some pretty tasteful, fast, very note-heavy, playing. But I think he is equally at home playing the lyrical lines on guitar that we can all sing. So disagree with you there on that, Rolling Stone. Sorry. None of Continuum's 12 tracks accelerates above mid-tempo, and the predominant tone is modest and reflective. Though the album occasionally refers to big issues, Waiting on the World to Change, the opening track and first single, is a moving Appalachian. I don't know that word. Apologia. Come on, man. You don't need to use that word. That's just you want to talk about what did he say about Mayer's playing? Let's see here. The breakneck improvising he flashed with JMT, using a word like apologia in a Rolling Stone article is the equivalent of what you're accusing Mayer of doing with John Mayer Trio, my friend. As I criticize you 20 years later after you wrote this article. It's not that we don't care. We just know that the fight ain't fair. We know all those lyrics. Anti-war sentiments and a sharp media critique. Sure. The songs, blah, 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 blah. Cool social observation of belief, as well as its delicate opening guitar figure. Enchanting harmonies of its bridge. Recall Sting, another of Mayer's idols. This guy's not a guitar player, I can tell you that much. I would not call the opening to Belief, even on the record, a delicate guitar figure. No, a delicate guitar figure would be like Gravity, I would say. Damage relationships, litter Continuum. We haven't even gotten to battle studies, and we're talking about a whole album of damaged relationships. I Don't Trust Myself, Loving You, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, Heart of Life, Dreaming with a Broken Heart, and I'm Going to Find Another You, all depict lovers who betray each other and occasionally themselves. Ever self-conscious, even obsessive about his place in the world, Mayer takes his own emotional temperature on Stop This Train. So scared of getting older, I'm only good at being young. Forget Who Did You Think I Was? Mayer detractors will likely be thinking, who do you think you are? When they hear this capable cover of Hendrix' Bold as Love. No matter. Mayer is right not to worry about pleasing or offending them. Continuum is just the current stage in Mayer's trip, but he has taken a big step toward finding himself as he sings on in Repair. I'm never really ready. I'm not together, but I'm getting there. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, 2020 is hindsight. We have the benefit of looking back at Continuum as it fits in Mayer's body of work today. And I mean, much like I've said with Born and Raised, it took me a while to get to a point where I could really, truly appreciate Born and Raised. And I think Continuum was more appreciated right off the bat than Born and Raised. But I don't know. I mean, like, I just think it's got to be tough to write an article like this. So I don't want to go too hard But I think there are some missteps in how it was characterized and what was being heard. I mean, stop this train for the writer to focus on the line, so scared of getting older, I'm only good at being young. I mean, it's a profound, really cool line. I just think there's a lot more in that song to latch onto than that. That's my opinion, though. What do you think about that article? I'm going to link it in the description below. I read it to you, but you can take a look at it and just see. I think it's kind of cool to go back and see what, some of our favorite art, how it was received at the time. Do it with music, do it with movies. It's really funny because, sometimes these reviews are right. And honestly, I think this one is mostly right. He's catching Continuum and recognizing it as a massive turning point in Mayer's career. But I mean, there's just a couple little details that I take issue with, but it's cool to see something like a review of Continuum really kind of hold up. Again, I disagree with a few things, but also, I'm sure we could go back and find some reviews of some of Mayer's work that don't age well, because we look back now and we're like, oh man, like, come on. Like, I bet you there's something out there that someone did a review of Born and Raised and probably was hyper critical because it was so different than what they were used to from John Mayer. I'm sure that exists. Or like one of the first reviews of him for Squares. I'm sure somebody out there was, just calling him, he's the next Dave Matthews, but fails at that, or something like along those lines. So that's why reviews are, taken with a grain of salt, because they only mean so much. And it's interesting to see how they age. So one of the quintessential live captures of the Continuum era is John Mayer live from Abbey Road. We're going to go through that today, song by song. I'm going to react as I watch it. Again, this kind of disappeared from the internet for a while, but it came back. It's back, and we're going to watch it together and just kind of relive this very special era in John Mayer's career. So let's kick it off.
Singing is sticky and hard to manage things sometimes.
All right.
It's J.J. Johnson on the drums. Playing the click track there off that. That's what he was starting. David Ryan Harris. Sounds good. David LaBriere. I love this band. This version of the band is so good. Vocals sound so good. Think I hear there's some slide guitar there. Is it who I think it is? Let's go, camera people. It's got to be Robbie McIntosh. Almost positive. This might be my favorite John Mayer song. I've said it before, and it works so well live. Yeah, there's Robbie's hands playing another strat. Finally, the chorus. This predates the dedicated backup singers. Just using guys in the band who sound great. Yeah. It's Robbie McIntosh, yep. Love songs where you get two guitar players, Mayer and somebody else playing a solo. Classic mid-2000s Mayer tone and playing. Nice. Little breakdown. It's cool to see the black one, of course. Guitar is back. It predates Silver Sky, obviously. David Ryan Harris. Yeah. Groovy. I think Mayer's upped his shoe game since then. Certainly he has upped his shoe game and his watch game. Hair game is on point though, for De La too. This is before Where the Light Is also, so it's cool to see where the song goes over time and how they perform it. Yeah. Now it's gotten more epic as time has gone on. The playing is better. I think the arrangement today, as it stands, is better with the intro. It's still really cool. This is much more true to the album. It's a little bit extended, but it's definitely much more true to the album than it is today. Interesting. He still sings that part here in 2006. Doesn't sing it anymore. It's pretty high, especially when you sing it full voice. But post vocal injury, even that note. Probably wouldn't sing that note today. His post Dead and Company playing is, you know, it's so good. Like his post today his playing. I mean, at the time I watched this and I still watch it today. I'm like, God, this is somebody who just has such a wonderful handle on his instrument, you know, and a voice and just really creative and capable playing.
Chad knows it.
I started on the wrong pickup. That's fine.
Gravity is one of the most important songs I've ever written.
Let's pause for just a second. I don't want to talk over this, but you know, but to see where he goes today with his playing, nice little shot of his pedal, well, the controller for his pedals. Justin Jeske, John Mayer gear, get in here and tell me what that is. It's a MIDI controller for all of his pedals, which are in a rack at this point, but if you're wondering. But yeah, so it's just cool to see where he is now, because I mean, his playing today after Dead and Company and just, you know, 20 years almost has just, I mean, he smokes 2000. Today, Mayer smokes 2006 Mayer, as you would expect, right? I mean, that's a good thing that he has progressed. It's pretty amazing, though, that somebody at the top of his game, I mean, he's already considered a guitar hero at this point. You know, he could have stopped progressing, but man, it's so inspiring to see somebody at the top of the game continuing on to just be just that much just better at his craft. It's really, really cool to see. All right, let's continue on here. Continue on with Continuum. Gravity. Now we're going to see a big difference on this song in how it's performed. But also think about this if there was an audience. At this time, Gravity wasn't a closer. It wasn't the 11th hour epic closer that it is today.
Gravity.
Nice.
It's working against me. And gravity.
Vocals sound good. Healthy.
Oh, it wants to bring me down.
Healthy, but you know, a lot of these dudes sit at the top of his range, which is tough. You're singing just a little bit out of your comfort zone. It's cool to see horns in the band at this point.
It's one and more. Gonna send me to my knees.
Didn't edit. Are they short of that? Does the solo usually come there? I feel like we went to the solo faster than we normally do. Or did I just like space out and miss a whole verse? Great tone, of course. Playing with the fingers. Oh, okay. I'm not going to rewind, but I am questioning the arrangement here. Like, what happened? Did we change something? Interesting. Interesting no choice there.
Like a one half could. It's wanting more. Gonna send me to
JJ's going for it on that hi-hat.
Oh, I wanna please, yeah.
Nice.
Gravity.
Cool break.
Will you stay the hell away from me?
I love JJ Johnson, the drummer's interpretation of this. It's so good. So good. It's so different than anybody else who plays it, too.
Oh, now how can that be? Just keep me where the light is.
Different themes here at the end.
Just keep me where the light is. Where the light is.
Nice. This is before. Wait, no, that's not the line. What's the line? No, they're still kind of doing it, right? They doing that? Yes, yeah. It's probably Dave Ryan Harris singing that. Still epic. I mean, it's not Arena 2019 Gravity epic. It's also it's in Abbey Road. There's no audience. And quite a bit shorter. Quite a bit shorter. But again, this is film, so some of this arrangement stuff and they're cutting things and making things shorter is probably, probably due to the fact that this was recorded for TV. Half hour, I'm assuming a half hour spot. I mean, we're like jumping off the drum riser at the end of this for Mayer now. Kind of a soft ending. But again, I mean, some of that is a product of this being an in-studio performance rather than being a full-out live performance in front of an audience. So, it's a little bit different. Let's just jump to the next tune. What do we got here? I think it's Vultures, which is yet again another John Mayer Trio transplant song to Continuum.
Plant itself into my mind, and that's kind of the ultimate, and that you spend the whole rest of your life figuring out.
Ah, yes, Vultures. And if I'm not mistaken, is that the 64 Strat? Help me out, Justin. In John Mayer gear. I think it is. I'm not a John Mayer gear expert by any means.
Some of us will hardly ever hear. The rest of us we're born to disappear. How do I stop myself from being just a number? How will I hold my head
Nice. David Ryan Harris. What an asset to a band, man. Guy's a ridiculously good singer. Great guitar player. Just an awesome addition. Speaking of awesome additions, listen to the organ on this. Just little swells here and there. There's one. Yeah. And then full out on the chorus. I love when he plays with no pick. Great shot. Yes. Little keyboard solo. Into the organ. B3 organ, man. Love it. Nice. Really nice progression from Try. I'm remembering hearing Vultures for the first time on Try, and it's just a trio song. But then to hear all these little flourishes that the organ adds, little stuff that David Ryan Harris adds, it's really a one guitar song. His vocals are so good. And then David LaBriere just really comping that Pino Palladino bass part, doing awesome to hold it down. Love this. Harmony. Yeah. So good. Little feedback from David Ryan. Yeah. And then the call and answer vocal. Guitar. Love it. Vocal. Guitar. Cool. And then a solo? No, just keeping it groovy. On the double stop thing, yeah. Oh, I remember this ending. Yeah, I think it's Mayer and David Ryan Harris. Wait, listen. Yes. Nice. Nice job, boys. Very cool. Yeah. So, I mean, this is, it was 07, 06, late 06. Not sure, but Mayer live at Abbey Road, probably one of the best captures, like I said, of that band, of that era, and of a few of these songs. I think there are other songs that were recorded. I would assume so. I know that this was, you're looking at the total time, because we cut out some of the interview stuff. It's about 22 minutes, which here in the US, that would equate to a half-hour TV spot, and I'm assuming it's the same thing in the UK, which is where I think this aired. I'm not entirely sure. I remember some BBC branding being on it at some point. Maybe I was wrong about that. But Either way, really cool to relive that, particularly after talking about the Rolling Stone review of Continuum from around the same era. So it's performances like this one that really are starting to cement John Mayer in people's minds as someone who is a just force to be reckoned with, performing live, both vocally, guitar-wise. I mean, the band, this is when he's starting, you start to see, nothing against the first couple bands that he toured with. Incredible players, some still in this band here. But as you start to move into guys like Steve Jordan, Pino Palladino, Robbie McIntosh, these guys, their resumes are just like, they're a mile long, and you're just getting into another territory of just session player, sideman type players who are just that it's one of those things where it's like, if you see them hanging with somebody like John Mayer, you should pay attention. In 2005, 2006, if you were paying attention, you saw Steve Jordan and Pino Palladino joining a band with John Mayer, and you were writing John Mayer off as somebody who is maybe you're looking down your nose at him as a distinguished music fan. That should have stopped you in your tracks right there, knowing that those two guys were not only touring, making a live record, but then producing and playing on his next studio record. You should run out and buy that album. And I think a lot of people did. I think that discussion, that argument is long since dead. Now, I mean, everybody knows how where Mayer is at and what he brings to the table. But at the time, 2004, 5, 6, it wasn't so clear. And that's why it's so cool to go back and relive all of these moments from the Continuum era of John Mayer's career. So that about does it for this episode. As always, I reserve this part of the show for the people who have stuck around the longest, likely through this episode, stuck around the longest, but also have stuck around the longest on this channel. You're in on the ground floor, and I supremely appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of the comments. I love them. Keep them coming. If you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, please join the channel, and you'll get some extras there. And all the while be supporting me so I can continue doing what I'm doing here. But this is just a joy for me to do. I have to say, I love doing work on YouTube, and I do a ton of it on my own channel. I do a ton of work for Premier Guitar. So go to both those places and you can catch more of what I do. It's much more guitar specific. But here I just get to relax with all of you and listen to one of my, if not my favorite artist of all time so far. I don't see anybody replacing Mayer for me. So, and I'm sure you're in a similar boat. So until next time, thank you for listening, watching, and just hopefully enjoying another episode of Everything Mayer. And I will see you in the next one.